Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Mr. Robot. Last time on Mr. Robot, we had EPS 3.0 _ power -saver -mode.h. Just H, that's it. That's all you get, just H. That's all you deserve. Anyway, so Elliot woke up from his gunshot wound. The power was out all across New York. It was also the eternal night. Could have just been one night, but it felt eternal. He went and closed the back door, and then he met up with, not Mike Ehrmantraut and was like, I'm calling this off. And he was like, all right. And it seemed to be called off. Then Elliot realized that, everything sucks because of him, so he needs to do something about it. And also, Angela was like, hey, there could be a way to undo everything. Like, everything, which leads to some questions. But then Elliot switched to Mr. Robot, who is apparently in cahoots. He's colluding with Angela to help with everything with the Dark Army. Great recap. Yeah, that's basically that. And the power came back on at the end. And apparently there is White Rose is going to create a new world. I legitimately don't know what is happening now, so yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this episode of Mr. Robot so we can see whatever the hell's happening. Here we go.
One of your patients hacked me. He stole my dog on top of it.
Oh, really? Dogman? Is he still here? Alright, please stay at night. Please stay at night. Please stay at night. Close enough. It's cloudy, at least.
You know when you fuck something up and you wish you had the power to hit undo?
Yeah.
Or when you crash the entire world economy and kickstart the inevitable downfall of human civilization. We all have those days.
I did that last week.
Maybe they're a necessary evil that just needs to be kept in check. In fact, maybe calling them evil was just my dorm room philosophizing run amok.
I'd like to say welcome to the E Corp family.
Oh,
We're happy to have you here.
Join in on the live-action cartoon of 2D emotions that everyone else is in. I finally see the fatal exception error of my ways, and I know what to do now. I'm gonna fix the world I broke and put it back together better than it was before.
Let's talk about
crucial
role here.
Single point of failure. We would install hardware and software.
Elliot, I hear your passion, but I got tickets to the Goo Goo Dolls reunion concert tonight, so let's wrap this up, okay?
This password was pretty
Okay,
easy to
this is
figure
gonna
out.
be a bit tricky.
I tipped off the FBI. Got him arrested and promptly set a meeting with the next exec up the chain.
Okay.
But in the manifest, I'm making it look like all the paper is still arriving in New York. It'll take a while, but I just need to buy enough time until I can prove my case to upper management.
Does he not wash his clothes?
By eliminating physical paper delivery, we can
This guy doesn't care either.
But I got a Soul Cycle class I'm late for.
Everyone's late.
Sometime next quarter.
Alright, get rid of him.
Hacking Peter was as easy as watching him. I felt bad taking him down until I saw that he had his engineering team use special software to help E Corp's auto manufacturing partners cheat the emissions test to hide how much pollution they really created.
Oh my gosh. There's the FBI.
During in the bureaucracy. In conclusion, digitizing locally and not shipping paper records.
Someone's paying attention.
Is the best option for our recovery efforts.
Perfect. Let's set a meeting with the VP of Technology. I want to get this in front of him.
Okay.
Great work, Elliot.
Thank you.
And the hack will officially be behind us.
Hey.
Doesn't mean that in my spare time, I can't find ways to purge Evil Corp of all their shit bags.
Nah.
You know, your typical subprime.
Might as well clean them up while you're here. This is what Angela wanted to do.
We're proud to call you a new member of E Corp.
Because
E
changing
Corp.
the world was never about tearing E Corp down.
Hey, wash your clothes.
Better. Okay, if I'm being real,
Yeah.
I haven't fixed everything.
Well.
I'll be working from my home office for a while.
Well, it's a bit of a step up, honestly. This is nice.
I miss being a part of something.
Being a part of what exactly?
Something important.
Yeah, long story.
We made this snowman. And we called him Kevin McAllister. You know, the kid from Home Alone.
Yeah.
We were pretty obsessed with that movie. We even did the hands to the face like how he does in the movie.
Aw.
And how'd that turn out?
That was the day of my accident, when my dad pushed me out the window. We were at the hospital till pretty late.
Your dad pushed you out a window?
Yeah,
Did,
I've told you that before.
Elliot, you've never told me this.
It's weird.
huh.
I remember.
Wow.
Truth bombs are coming your way, Kodyites. Tonight, please welcome our special guest, Joanna Wellick.
Oh, God.
Thanks for being here.
The only man I've ever loved. And the only man I ever will love.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, dude. He's not talking to Tyrell.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, he's not.
What is this?
Bonsoir, Elliot.
I mean, he's seen him, but that's not... But he mainly talks to the other guy.
She went on national television and she says she still loves him.
Oh, it's Derek, or whatever.
You love me!
He just needed a little clarity.
Gun. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh! Okay, I don't know who's dead there. I don't know what's happening now. Jeez. Oh, I don't like it. Oh.
The shooter didn't survive.
We got lucky we were on the scene before anyone saw the body.
Joanna's dead.
What about the baby? Once you contact the next of kin.
We're not contacting them. He's going to social services.
Probably for the best. I can't believe Joanna's dead.
But China has unofficially adopted Bitcoin. They are declaring a currency war.
My associates found your pet employee after she smuggled out documents on the Washington Township plant. Now that I've gotten a chance to talk to her,
Yeah.
I can see why you like her. She makes a very good companion. And those eyes of hers, I contemplated firing a bullet into each of them, but
No.
don't mistake my generosity for generosity.
What a line.
What are you doing?
God damn.
Why are you awake?
It's a ninja.
Here, I thought we were in a good fucking place after last night.
You're not answering my fucking question. Why
Wait.
are you here?
What do you mean you invited me?
No.
It's you.
What did you do with the computer?
Ah!
Why did you sleep
It
in
was
my
him.
house?
You're scaring me.
Answer me!
Are you serious?
Answer me!
You're hurting me.
Answer me!
Stop!
What?
Stop!
Oh. The other guy's getting angry.
I wanted you to talk to him.
What happened? Did he come back?
Yep.
I need you to talk to him.
Interesting.
You said that could help.
Is it?
Elliot?
You should know that nothing's gonna come from this.
Oh.
We were doing just fine.
Fuck, he's scary.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Huh.
Can I ask for your name?
Now, what does he call me?
Mr. Robot?
Seriously?
Nah.
He still calls me that? Talk about labels.
Nah.
Because before you found out about me, we were good.
I'm trying to help him.
You're not trying to help him.
You're trying to destroy me.
I'm not trying to destroy you. Quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
I want to understand you.
Is he gonna try anything?
I'm done talking to you.
Krista? When we're gonna start?
We already have.
What happened? Were you there? Did you go with me or stay with him? What did you see?
I saw
Mr.
stuff.
Robot, me and we've been compromised. You were there. You heard it along with her, right? What
Okay,
was
she
Mr.
said
Robot
everything.
talking about?
How do you get so lucky? Even when the world's going to shit, you're sitting pretty.
Well, you have to be allies with China.
Figured you wanted her so badly. Let her shit all over your house. Like you did mine.
Alright then. Bye.
Joe.
Okay. So Darlene did something for them.
Stage 2. I want it to happen on the day of the UN vote. Whether it goes our way or not.
Okay.
It's time Philip Price's hand got slapped.
Interesting.
Turn it off.
Is that coming from downstairs?
Yeah, that's Darlene's apartment, but who the fuck is that?
Is Darlene home?
No, she's out. You think
Is
she
it
told
him?
someone about the safe house?
This email wasn't for Tyrell. It's for us.
Uh-oh. He's here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh. Yeah, oh, so it was a way of finding... It was a way of finding them. Alrighty. What is the name of the bodyguard? Is that it? It's gotta be him. Mr. Sutherland. Is that right? Well, it's gotta be. No, wait. Is it? No. Michael Hansen's the dog guy. I think... Okay, I think it's Mr. Sutherland. MVP, almost, Mr. Sutherland. Joanna's dead. Joanna's dead. I feel like... You know what I feel like? I feel like they finally realized that they wrote her too good, and so it was either she takes over the plot and becomes the true villain, or we have to kill her. I think that's how that happened. Honestly, I think that's how that happened. But that sucks, man. Joanna's dead. Joanna's one of my favorite characters, because she's so terrifying, you know? And it wasn't even like, it wasn't Scott... it wasn't Scott Knowles. It wasn't anything like that. Like, no, it was... It was Derek. Ooh, Derek. Because he was like, oh, she said... And I was like, well, come on, man. And then he shot it. First off, he shot Mr. Sutherland. And I like that guy. Friend, I like that guy. He was like a good, like, number 2, I guess he'd be number 1. He was a good, like, henchman to Joanna. Like he was always there. He was always there. He was always doing good stuff for her. And it's like, man, I like him. He's alive, luckily. But Joanna is dead. Joanna's dead. No. No. Man, I love Joanna. I wanted Joanna to be a villain. That is sort of a problem. Is that I swear, like, this is sort of half of a joke, where it's like, I swear they wrote her too well, that it's like, what do we do with her? She's so good that we literally can't do anything with her without having her take over the entire plot. You know? I swear, I'm only like half joking on that, because she was so good, and she would have been a brilliant villain, but this isn't the show for that. This is not the show for that, so it doesn't work. You can't do anything with her. So on the one hand, am I extremely sad that Joanna's gone? Yes. On the other hand, I don't know what they could have done with her without making her the main villain. Without her taking over, you know? Like, I swear she rivals White Rose as a villain, you know? But she's out. Joanna's out. Excuse me. When you look back at the grand scheme of things, it's not. Her plotline has kind of been very minimal when you think about it, like, because she's been, you know, looking for Terrell since the end of season 1, and then, you know, she had this little thing, you know, this little conflict with Scott Knowles. But now Scott Knowles is arrested. Scott Knowles is arrested for killing his wife, so he's out of the picture too. So if anything, it's like, yeah, what does Joanna do unless she somehow joins up with Terrell in the Dark Army? But you know she would start taking, even maybe if she doesn't take over from White Rose and, you know, she becomes a villain, you know she would start taking over. She'd start bossing Terrell around and, like, figuring out all the stuff, like, you need to do this, you fucking weak ass shit. You know, searching for God, I don't give a shit, you need to be doing this, and this. And she would take over because she is a brilliant villain that I swear they legitimately just ran out of things for her to do without her being the main villain, that they had to kill her. And I think that's the sign of a really good character right there. That I swear she's dead because she was too good. Like, I swear that's what it is. And I'm only half joking about that, you know? Joanna's dead, man. Joanna's dead. Okay. We've got other notes. Unfortunately, this is not the eternal night that I thought we were going to have. It was pretty cloudy, though, during a lot of those shots, so that was at least something. I wish it stayed the eternal night. Like, I thought that would have just been interesting. It's like, yeah, just everything now takes place at night. Like, daylight comes and me one go home, but still, you know? Still, it's like, yeah, I was hoping just everything was at night. Like, it fit, like, I really enjoyed the atmosphere of last episode, that it's like, I wanted that to continue, but no. We have Elliot undoing things. Excuse me. Working to undo the hack, and not only undo the hack, but he is working to keep a lot of the paper records away from New York, which we don't know as of yet if White Rose is aware of this, you know, that he has been doing this, because according to, like, he made it still look like they are arriving in New York. So we really don't know, you know? We don't know. We don't know, but yeah, but he is working on that. I did like the whole thing with the bosses. Like, the first boss didn't listen to him, so he got him arrested by the FBI. The second boss didn't listen to him, so he got him arrested by the FBI. The third boss did listen, and so they were all good. I thought that was really funny. I also like how he's basically doing what Angela wanted to do, you know, like go in and clean things up. Whereas I guess Angela wanted to do more reform of, like, you know, company policy and everything like that. Elliot is taking out the bad eggs, which is what he does. You know, that's what he's good at. He goes in and takes out a lot of the bad eggs that are there and gets them all arrested by the FBI. So I like that. He basically immediately does better than Angela has done at this company, you know? Excuse me. We had the whole talk about the snowman, which was interesting. And you know, he said, like, oh, I don't know why I brought that up now, you know? Which, I mean, it being that day when he was pushed out of the window, I mean, that's pretty much where a lot of his trauma came in, you know? So it is sort of interesting. You know, he's talking about Mr. Robot, who is basically... And the way he sees Mr. Robot is the image of his dad. So it's interesting that he sort of thought about that, you know? Let's see. We had the new F Society video. Which, okay, so I guess the jury's still out on who it is. Like, is it Elliot or is it not Elliot? It could be Terrell. You know what? If anyone could do it, it's probably Terrell. Let's just be honest, you know? It could be Terrell doing the videos now. But it's entirely possible that it is Elliot, or at least Mr. Robot that's doing it, you know? Because it was Mr. Robot who was doing it originally, you know? So yeah, that was interesting. And then the whole thing with, you know, he doesn't have a relationship with Terrell. And it's like, well... Technically, Elliot has only talked to him somewhat, but Mr. Robot is working with him, you know? And that's the interesting thing, is that, you know, Darlene, like most people, Darlene doesn't really accept the split between them, you know? Like, she doesn't treat them as two different people, when it's so strange how they are, you know? That they are basically two different people in one body, you know? And Angela acknowledges that. Terrell doesn't, you know, others don't, and Darlene definitely doesn't, you know? But now Krista does, you know, which is pretty interesting. And then, yeah, Joanna's dead. It's a weird thing where it's like, I actually don't feel too upset about that. I am going to miss Joanna, but maybe I'm like weirdly comforted by the fact that it feels like they killed her off because she was too good, you know? It's like either we kill her off or we have to go all out with her, you know? So I think that's why I'm actually like weirdly okay with it, you know? Even though it sucks, I love Joanna. But now the other thing is, for a while, yeah, her whole plotline with like finding Terrell and this whole thing with Scott, that has just sort of been oh yeah, that's happening too. I just forget about it. I love Joanna, but that plotline was sort of like, oh, okay, that happened. All right. So I think that's really it, is that you just can't, they just couldn't make her the main villain. And I know that sounds stupid, and I'm sure that's just not it. But it really feels that way, that they wanted, like they made a character, they made a larger than life character for a standard role, you know? And I don't know if that's because they wrote her to be over the top, you know, larger than life, or if it was just the performance. It could be, you know, maybe like the performance outgrew the character, you know, which is entirely possible. but it really does just feel like they made a character who was too much larger than life to be on this show anymore, you know? So, sad to see her go, but we had a hell of a time with Joanna, I must say. We had the whole thing with the currency war, which is interesting. China accepting Bitcoin instead of E-coin. Very interesting. I don't fully understand everything that's happening there. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like, you know, this unified... E-coin is now this sort of unified currency that's going around. So for China to use Bitcoin, I would understand that makes it a bit complicated. You know, how do you... I guess, is there like a solid exchange rate between Bitcoin and E-coin? So I can sort of understand why Philip Price would be angry about that, but I don't fully understand the whole situation with that. But I love, because, you know, every time now when Philip Price and White Rose are in a scene, they are now pretty much in conflict with each other, and they keep trying to play cards. But I like, actually, that White Rose played the Angela card, and it's like, oh, I talked to her, and I get it. I was going to kill her. I was going to put 2 bullets right through her eyes, but I understand. And I love this line. Don't mistake my generosity for generosity. What a brilliant line that is. That is incredible. That's one of those things why White Rose is our main villain. White Rose is an amazing villain, you know? But yeah, don't mistake my generosity for generosity. That was amazing. I love that so much. That's a line I want Joanna to have, you know? Because that's the level that Joanna's at, but oh well. But that's the problem. You can't have 2 of them in the same show. Oh, but that line was so amazing. I love the whole thing with the other side, you know, just Mr. Robot, you know, questioning Darlene and grilling her and, you know, being super paranoid, and then him coming out and talking to Krista even just a little bit, you know, was interesting. And just the fact that, yeah, he is actually intimidating, you know? And when you see that switch, you know, it's just, you know, we're looking at Elliot's face, and then to see the switch and you hear the voices, and then it just melds into the Mr. Robot we know. It's like, it's honestly getting scary, you know? It's like, you know, here's this guy who was like, oh, you know, he's just sort of the other guy and stuff like that, but it's like, he is scary now. He's intimidating. It's so strange, you know? So I really like that. I love that chat that they had there. And we also had, you know, he realizes that Darlene has compromised them, and so he ends up tricking the FBI with that email and allowing him to find them, you know? So it really, again, it's just this strange thing. Like, I feel like, I almost feel like it's almost too, I don't want to say like fantastical or anything, but the fact that there is such a clear split and they're working against each other, it feels like 2 separate entities that you know, are in the same body, basically, you know? Like, they pilot the same body. It's just so, it's so strange. You know what it feels like? And we've said this, I think I've said, maybe I said this on Twitter as a joke or something, but it honestly feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! Sort of, where it's like, you know, now granted it was never, well, I guess sort of like Yami Bakura, honestly, where it's like, here's this guy, and here's this spirit that possesses him, you know? And sometimes, like in the case of Bakura, the host, regular Bakura, he tries to fight his dark side, basically, you know? And that's what this feels like, is Elliot trying to trying to beat the other half of him, the other him. And it's so interesting because, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's, you know, fantasy, it's, you know, sci-fi and, you know, mystical and all that stuff. This is, like, no, this guy just has 2 sides of himself, you know? That's just it. So it's such a strange thing to see, and it's interesting because it's like, do we treat him as, you know, do we treat him as 2 separate people or as one person? but they are so defined that it is really just two different people, you know? So that's all interesting. Dogman showed back up. That was kind of weird. It's like, hey, Dave, fuck you. Here's the dog. It's like, okay, whatever. I hope he keeps coming back, you know? Because it's so funny every time he does, because he's just pathetic, you know? And the last thing to really talk about is that White Rose wants Stage 2 advance. Well, he wants Stage 2 to happen no matter what. As a punishment to Philip Price, he wants the explosion to happen no matter what. So yeah. Which, I mean, we still don't know like what all of this is for, but yeah. I'm so curious. I'm so curious, man. And so yeah, they're gonna have to be careful. Elliot's gonna have to figure something out. I don't know how, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, that is basically it. I am curious to see where we're going next time. Unfortunately, without Joanna, but this would be a good time to bring back Terrell full time, but that might be tricky. So, but yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Doing a new thing for the end credits, or the end screen, where I just sort of say goodbye, and that's just sort of that. I don't know. Tell me if you guys like this or not. You might not. You may not. We'll see.